Welcome back to Nick Lenz Comic Corner, Classics / Non-Classics. This is episode number 822 and Doubleshot number 716. Two Spider-Man trades. First up, it is The Spectacular Spider-Man Volume 3, Here Be Monsters. I should point out, though, the first three issues were deemed not canon by Marvel Comics due to the stupid retcon Paul Jenkins does with the Lizard. Yeah. What's the retcon? That Kirk Connors has been trolling the Lizard all along. Yeah, apparently a lot of people didn't like that very much, so Marvel deemed those issues to be not canon with the Marvel Universe and considered to be an Elseworld story. The single issue is just, well, a fight between Michael Morbius and Spider-Man. The artwork in here is really good, and Marvel doesn't ignore the numbering of these issues, they just ignore the story. Yeah, Paul Jenkins is a good writer, but I do agree with the reasoning why Marvel retconned this story be non-canon, because of, like I said, the whole thing of the Lizard, of Kirk Connors control the Lizard all along. Yeah, that was a stupid retcon, and it's by far the only time I could think of Marvel ever retconned an entire story arc, because even they realized, oh, this was stupid. Yeah, well, I'm gonna get this book roughly a 9 out of 10. It's actually pretty good. Though the Lizard story in here is really good. I really enjoy the storytelling that he does with the Lizard. Like they mentioned about Martha Connor's death and the fact he's also fighting custody of his son. It's kind of similar storytelling they do in the Lizard storyline in Amazing Spider-Man. They did back from the period of 2010-2012. Yeah, it's very similar storytelling, but that's done a little bit better. It's like Dan Slott took elements of this storyline and made it canon, but the whole story itself is not canon at all. Yep, next up it is Volume 5, The Final Curtain. Yep, this is the kind of the end of this Spectacular Spider-Man Volume 2, but not the right review of these trades. Yeah, because second volume ended with only 27 issues. But this trade, this is what it contains. Spectacular Spider-Man Volume 2 issues 21 to 22 and 27, which was those three issues were not collected. The previous trade was Sins Remembered. That was 23 to 26. This is like the Era 3 issues that were not collected before. Excuse me. Plus, they even threw in Peter Parker Spider-Man Volume 2, 30 to 41. All the issues in here written by Paul Jenkins. And they say he's the writer of Wolverine Origin. Yeah, but not Wolverine Origins. That was Daniel Way. Probably the origin storyline, yeah. The artwork in here, with the exception of the last issue, is done by mainly Mark Buckingham. And the writing in here, the other artwork is done by Talon Caldwell. The first three issues in here from Peter Parker's Spider-Man, those are actually issues featuring a character known as Fusion the Second and Dr. Octopus, involving like cybernetic limbs. Yeah, that's what mainly the storyline is about. And those of you who don't know who the heck Fusion is, yeah, the original one was basically two different characters that were simply just who were twin brothers and they merged into one and become Fusion. The second Fusion is his suit is a ripoff of Yellow Jacket. Yeah, it seriously is. Yeah, when you think of this guy, you probably think of the Firefly suit from the Batman. My guess is they must have taken loose inspiration from it. But yeah, this is what the character looks like. Look, some people could also point out it looks like the Guardian from DC Comics. But yeah, this is the guy. And he's taken out by Dr. Octopus toward the end of the storyline. And of course, the appearances in here by Daredevil and Nick Fury of all people. As for the Spectacular Spider-Man issues, well, these are, well, kind of weird. The first issue is basically the poker game. Yeah, superhero poker game, and somehow the Kingpin gets involved with it. He puts a stake in it, and he loses. Yeah, Kingpin loses the game to Spider-Man of all people, who doesn't take the money. He doesn't take all. He takes a little bit for cab fare, which is quite nice for him to do. The second issue is focused on Mindworm. Those of you who don't know who the heck this character is, he is a minor villain from the 70s. Yes, a character only appeared twice prior to this. And apparently, since his second appearance, he's become homeless. And then he gets killed by some random guy. Yeah, for a character who was created by Jerry Conway. Yeah, Conway created this guy. And he's by far as far as I can think of, he's the only character created by Jerry Conway who's actually dead. Yeah, the only one from Marvel Comics I can think of who's actually been killed off. I mean, they attempted to kill off Man-Thing, but that went nowhere. But Mindworm is by far the only one I can think of, and he first appeared in Amazing Spider-Man number 137. That was the first time he actually showed up in the comics. It was actually one issue after the return of. It was the classic two-part storyline when Harry Osborn first became the Green Goblin. Yeah, his first appearance came right after that, which was kind of weird. Yep, the last issue in here is mainly, it's kind of similar to the ending of the final issue of Peter Parker Spider-Man, where it's just a standalone issue featuring May Parker and Peter visiting Ben Parker's grave in the snow. It's a nice little story and a great way to wrap up the series, especially since it's had its weird ups and downs. Now, as far as I can tell, I've reviewed at least 3 trades for this particular series. I have not reviewed the first 2 trades, and I have not reviewed the Disassemble tie-in. Yeah, this is only Volume 6. Yeah, this is only Volume 6. I have not reviewed the first 2 volumes and Volume 4. Yeah, those 3 I have not reviewed yet, but I may review them in the future. Yep, I'm giving this book roughly a 9.5 out of 10. It's really good. Really good storytelling. And I got to hand it to Paul Jenkins bringing back a character I kind of know about. Yeah, if you don't know much about comics and you think of the name Mindworm, like, who in the world is Mindworm? Yeah, look up. I kind of knew who this character is, but yeah, it's weird though. He's one of the handful of Spider-Man villains who's actually dead, and he's a minor villain. Yeah, he's so minor. He's actually put is a D-list character. I mean, if you don't read comics, you have no idea who this character is. People know who the Lizard is. People know who Dr. Octopus is, but not Mindworm or Fusion. I get why people may not know who Fusion is, but Mindworm, I'm not surprised by that either. People probably don't know who the heck this guy is. What his power is, he's this guy with this big head. He's got telepathy, and he kind of causes Spider-Man suffer from hallucinations. Which you're probably thinking, the character sounds like a ripoff of Dr. Psycho from Wonder Woman, which kind of he is, except he's a lot taller than Dr. Psycho. Dr. Psycho is a midget. Yeah, he's a midget. While compared to Mindworm, where he's an average-sized guy, he's basically about the same height as Spider-Man, except he's got a big head. And he could also be a ripoff of, I don't know, maybe a few other characters, but yeah. It's weird kind of what gave Spider-Man his own Dr. Psycho. The only difference is Dr. Psycho is a more memorable villain than Mindworm is. That's the difference between the two of them. Yeah. The only difference is Dr. Psycho was created by Wonder Woman's creator, William... trying to think, what was his name? I don't remember the guy's name, but the guy was known for having a polygamous relationship. He had a wife and girlfriend at the same time, which was kind of weird. He also had a thing for putting Wonder Woman in dominating poses, like when she's like tied up, whatever. But yeah, that's really it for this particular review. Stay tuned for my next review. We'll talk about more Sandman trades. Okay, but until the next review, bye.